NASA's final four shuttle astronauts blasted off less than an hour ago on the final flight of the 30-year shuttle program. A NASA spokesman calling it a sentimental journey into history. Our Linda Hurtado and Brendan McLaughlin were two of the hundreds of thousands who watched the launch on the Space Coast. Guys, pretty spectacular, even the 135th time.
It was pretty beautiful from where I was standing, Dan. And you know, there was a definite buzz going around this press area, Brendan, this morning that this launch was going to happen despite the iffy weather. And as it turns out, it wasn't even the weather that almost delayed the launch.
That's true. In fact, we had pretty much canceled our weekend plans here, assuming we were going to be back Saturday or Sunday or maybe Monday because of the weather. But no, it cleared up, it brightened up, and let's take a look at that launch as I talk. It went up pretty much on time. 4 astronauts going on a 12-day mission to the International Space Station. They'll be back July 20th. But I'll tell you, they had a heart-stopping stoppage of the clock, 31 seconds before launch. There was a collective gasp that went through the press corps and the crowd here at the press center. What it turned out to be, and I can actually show you a picture of this, is something called the gaseous oxygen ventilator arm, something every home should have. They were afraid that it wasn't fully retracted. This is something that sits on top of the external fuel tank. It's got to be pulled away before the shuttle takes off, obviously. They didn't think it was pulled away quite far enough. So they did the measurements, said A-OK, and off it went, safe and sound.
And now the astronauts start their 12-day mission. Someone who knows exactly what those astronauts are feeling as we speak is Senator Bill Nelson, a former mission specialist. He talked to Brendan and I earlier about the end of the space shuttle era, and he told us that this launch wasn't even supposed to happen. Let's listen in.
As a matter of fact, this was a mission that didn't exist. Neither did the one before, Endeavour. We added these 2 flights so that we could keep the program going as long as we could, financially, responsibly, and then transition to the new rockets. Now, I can tell you, those guys out there, they're strapped in, they're ready to go, they want to go, they're all business right now.
Wish you were up there with them?
Of course.
Good question. Now, Atlantis is expected to land on July 20th, and then it will retire right here at Kennedy Space Center. You can bring your kids to see it on a field trip.
30-year program comes to an end, but it frees up money and resources and energy to create the next generation of spacecraft that will take us far out of the neighborhood, to an asteroid, to the moon, to Mars. It's almost enough to take care of yourself, to live long enough to see all that happen.
It's exciting.
That's the latest from the Kennedy Space Center. Back to you.